DorkLair.
Welcome to another DorkLair action figure review. Today I'm taking a look at the Mythic Legion's Lord Draguul. This was, as you can tell, their Hordak tribute. It came up alongside their She-Ra tribute, which I haven't opened yet. I have that, but I haven't cracked it open yet because I just got this thing in the mail today. But it was available in the All-Stars 3 wave, but as usual, they had planned to have it available as sort of a debut purchase at PowerCon 2020, which didn't happen. So they put these up for pre-order, or they put these up for in-stock order on their site. And we were able to order both this and Dorina. So this is Lord Draguul, Vampire of Alithia's Brood. Pretty great looking tribute figure. I do have a couple little gripes with it, but overall pretty solid release. And it's releasing some parts that I think are a welcome addition to the, custom kit bash library. So it's nice to have a few things back in circulation. But yeah, so let's get into this review. All right, so standard Mythic Legion's packaging. On the side here, let's see if I can get it into a good light. You have his bio, if you want to read that right there. And then on this side, Alithia's Brood. And then there's a new packaging on the back, which is kind of interesting. So it's got like the ogre scale artwork from, I believe it's Nate Barch. It's probably got it right on here somewhere. Yeah, Nate Barch art there. Interesting thing here is that it has the Wasteland Wave on here. And the Wasteland Wave didn't even have the Wasteland Wave on the back. But nice to see that this art appearing finally on the regular packages in addition to the ogre scale figures. But yeah, standard packaging, collector friendly. You can open, close it, and I like it. Okay, so since this is the head that was on the figure in the box, I've got this head back on for the primary sculpt, paint, and detail look here. So this is your standard knight head repainted very nicely, pretty crisply. I do have a little unevenness where the red meets the silver here. Very minor. I like that it's got this like really almost cartoony red dragon on the top here, because these toppers tend to blend together and you kind of get a lot of figures with a lot of the same heads and toppers, but giving it that super bright red adds to it and makes it feel kind of new. And then if you kind of look throughout, there's mostly a semi-gloss black paint scheme with gray highlights. And then of course you have the red colors throughout. So on the helmet, you see the gray highlights with that semi-gloss black. Same thing on the shoulders. You have gray, black. The belt's got the gray and the black. So you got that cool paint scheme. He's got a lot of orc parts. He's got some barbarian parts in here. He's got the knight skirt, the knight chest, knight helmet. I like this. I don't think I have many figures. I might only have one. I think Brother Mandibulus might be the only one I have with that neck piece. Maybe there's another one. And he's got this cape that's not great, quite frankly, but it's there. It's supposed to go on his wrists, I think, or on his arms, but I don't really like that. It's going to limit how I can move him. The skin tone is a very, very bluish blue. It doesn't have much green in it, the same way that Krona, the Trapjaw tribute, has a lot of blue in there. But yeah, you can see a lot of orc parts. You get the orc gauntlets, the orc boots, and again, these very, not flat, but very sharp color shifts throughout the figure, give it that kind of Masters of the Universe feel to it. But yeah, it's a great tribute to Hordak. And getting a look at Lord Draguul with a few other figures. Starting off with a couple Mythic Legions. On the left is the Trapjaw tribute, so his master's tribute mate over there. And then on the right is another vampire from the Brood, and that is Lucretia. A couple Mezcos on that vampire theme. On the left we have Nosferatu, Count Orlok himself, and on the right we have Blade. And then a couple other random things I have on the table. On the left, I have the Mafex Batman, and on the right, I have the classified Beachhead. All right, in addition to the accessories that he's got on there, like the pauldron and stuff, the shield here is the same kind of elvish or vampire shield, but with a very crisply painted black, red, gray scheme. And on here, you actually really can pick up on that gray and how it's got a little bit of a sparkly paint finish to it that's not as noticeable on the figure. Of course, it's got the little peg there with the handle that he can hold in his hand. And you can, of course, have that going in whatever direction you want. Then this head sculpt, I love it so much. Basically like the vampire that's supposed to sort of look like Hordak. I think this is the same as the original vampire from the 1.0 figures. I keep drawing a blank on his name right now, but you can see like there's a very dark black painted in the eyes and then around the eyes, and then you have that red, same thing in the mouth. The teeth are red there, and he's got like this stripe down the middle, but it kind of like does this cool thing of combining Hordak and the vampire from the 1.0. So that's a really cool looking head. Very, very crisply painted. Everything about this figure is very crisp and does a nice job of balancing that kind of cartoony look with sort of fitting in with Mythic Legions. And then he's got the axe that I think came with some of the goblins. It's a pretty cool axe. I like this style. And then he's got this, basically I think it's a tribute to Imp, I think his name is. But he's got this little skull that goes on there, and it's painted up to kind of match his own look a little bit. He also comes with a crossbow, but mine didn't come with an arrow. I'm not sure if it's missing or if they just didn't put an arrow in with this release. And, you know, that's painted quite nicely as well. As always, he comes with the strap with the holster so you can store some weapons as a belt or as a shoulder strap. Getting a look at the articulation, my neck is weird, and one of the complaints I have about this figure, quite frankly, is the neck. So then instead of coming with an armored neck, he's got a skeleton neck. It's the skeleton neck piece. And I was hoping that this figure would be a very welcome reissue of the armored neck piece. However, that is not the case. It's the skeleton neck piece, but it's fine. Most of the figures have a collar anyway. And then this particular head is super tight on there, so I can't really turn it well. It's really a pain in the butt to turn. And it actually, the neck is a little gummy, so the neck tends to kind of flex instead of the head turning. The other head actually fits just fine on there. And then this head moves around just fine, so we can kind of look at the articulation with this head on there. But yeah, he can look up, down, cock his head side to side, twist his head all the way around. His arms can swing up slightly past 90, and then they can rotate all the way around. As always, single jointed elbows on the Mythic Legions, and the elbow does have a twist. You can spin the gauntlet, and then you can spin the wrist as well, and then the wrist has a hinge. The waist is on a ball joint. He can go side to side a little bit. He can twist, of course, and then he can crunch forward and back a little bit there. Legs can bring out into the splits. He's got a twist at the top of the thigh. This thigh is super loose on mine. His knees are single jointed. His leg will go up this far. There is a twist below the knee, twist at the ankle. His foot will point down, it'll point up, and then you have that rocker as well. Standard 1.0 articulation. I know my videos get a little repetitive when it comes to Mythic Legions. I keep saying the same thing over and over, but solid release here. I do really wish they had gone with an armored neck on this guy rather than the skeletal neck, but I guess that kind of plays into the Masters of the Universe theme a little bit more. I do just wish I could have had some more of those neck pieces for customs and kit bashes and stuff, but overall I'm impressed with this figure, especially the paint job. And until next time, may the force be with you. Follow me into the